All right, so in hour one, we spent a lot of time talking about The Athletic put out this quarterback ranking, different tiers, tier 1, tier 2. We debated Aaron Rodgers was number 1. Should Tom Brady be number 1? I want to move down a little bit down that list because one guy who was not in tier 1, he actually wasn't even in tier 2. He was in tier 3. That is Dak Prescott, who, of course, is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He's in some contract negotiations. Basically, his whole team is in contract negotiations. Ezekiel Elliot, Amari Cooper potentially want new deals. And so in this kind of survey of anonymous GMs and coaches and everything like that, they were asked about Dak. And somebody had an interesting comment about Dak that I thought was worth kind of, taking a look at this exact moment. And basically what they said about Dak, the reason that he is in tier 3, this is what an anonymous GM said. I think Dak is a classic 3, a high 3, where he really needs people around him. When they got the receiver, he was better. When the runner was rolling, he is better. Play action is very important for him. But basically what the insinuation is from this anonymous GM is that Dak really can't win at the highest level, even though he's won 2 divisions in 3 years, if all the puzzle pieces aren't around him. I don't think it's an extremely hot take, but what are your thoughts on that, Rob?
No, I agree with it because everything has to be perfect for him. He can't win games on his own. When Ezekiel Elliott's not there, and we've seen it, they're very mediocre. All his numbers go down. He's not a guy. We were talking earlier about Aaron Rodgers winning game without always having everything you need. The defense has to be good. The running game has to be good, and then Dak can do something. If he doesn't have those things, here's a guy who's won as many games or more games. No, the same as many games as Tom Brady the last couple of years. Right?
All comes back to Tom Brady.
But he's won as many. But his numbers aren't there. Like, sure. He's won these games, but the defense was good. They have a great running back, which changes the game when you have to respect the running game. You know that as a quarterback, it makes a big difference.
Do you think this – I mean, I don't think this commentary is off base at all. I think it's actually pretty accurate. It's kind of how most people feel. Does this change the narrative for you, or does it what does it mean for Ezekiel Elliott? Because one thing that I've argued on my Saturday show, and actually I talked a little bit about it with Chris last week, is that I know there's this idea that you can't pay Zeke. He's still got 2 years left on his deal. But to me, this GM is saying it. We all see it every Sunday that Dak is limited, as you just said, when the running back, the wide receiver aren't there. In your opinion, does it make it more – do you think you got to pay Zeke now, keep him happy, because without Zeke, there really is no Dak?
No doubt. And I think that they would be making a great mistake. And don't tell me about the off the field, because Jerry has picked up guys with all checkered pass, all kinds of issues and all that other stuff. So apparently that doesn't matter to Jerry, okay? Sure. So you can't use that against Ezekiel Elliott now and say, well, there's some off the field. That the Cowboys are riddled with that.
Sure.
So I'm not buying into that. And I remember Jerry Jones trying to play hardball with Emmitt Smith. This goes back.
Sure.
They win the Super Bowl. He don't want to pay Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith sits out 2 games, and they go 0-2 in those games, and all of a sudden Jerry has the money to pay Emmitt Smith,
sure,
and they went on to win the Super Bowl. He was an integral part of that team. And the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott. He is integral. He is needed to make Dak Prescott the quarterback that you could get by with and win with, but you have to have everything in place, and they're rolling the dice. This is why when people were knocking when the Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell, this is why people were knocking him for sitting out and wanting a deal, because they want to use these guys up and not pay them.
Sure.
And then after 5 years, you go, wow, I can't pay. You're only getting 3.5 yards a carry. After you have 400 touches and
sure,
and you're moving the needle and you had them under their control, but you don't want to pay them. So if I'm Ezekiel Elliott, I want to get paid. I'm a big part of this. I've done nothing but produce every game I've been out there, so pay me.
Yet the alternative, of course, though, with the Le'Veon Bell stuff is Todd Gurley, where Todd Gurley last year signs that huge extension, and by the end of the year, he's pretty banged up. And C.J. Anderson, who me and my Saturday partner joke looked like he was eating Cheetos on the couch before he came into that Rams playoff game, and it was actually against Dallas.
Yeah, right. They ran over Dallas, both of them.
And I was going to say, now Todd Gurley, his big money doesn't even come until next year. And I understand that is the concern for Cowboys fans, but I'm with you, is I think the window is now. You mentioned Jerry Jones, 76 years old.
Jerry, hello, is this on? The clock is ticking. Do you want to win another Super Bowl or not? If you don't, then pinch your pennies and play that money game and not wanting it, if that's what you want. But if you're serious, because you haven't won since basically it was Jimmy Johnson, and I know
Barry Switzer.
That Barry Switzer was, but that was with Jimmy's guys. But since then, it's been dry. The cupboard's been bare as far as winning. So if you finally got these young guys, you got to do what you got to do to try to give yourself a window to win. Because once it's closed, then you're off to then who knows what happened.
I totally agree, and I don't think you can have success one without the other. It's weird, right? Because Ezekiel Elliott, star running back, but we all know a running back is limited by the offensive line, by the receivers, by the quarterback. But Dak, this GM says it, and I agree with him, is that he can't win unless he has Zeke. Do you think that, all this stuff with the Cowboys and everything like that, so you're not concerned at all with the Zeke, the off the field? Because this is a guy on a rookie contract. He hasn't even made his big money yet. Every offseason, it seems like there's a problem. There was the most recent incident in Vegas. You're just saying push that aside because the alternative is you lose this guy, he holds out, and the Super Bowl window closes before it even opens.
My issue is you can't hold that against him. If you're going to keep him on, if there's an issue, let him release him.
Sure.
Don't give me that's not the reason you want to. If that's an issue, the off the field stuff, then you should be releasing him. Not only do we not want to pay you, we don't want you around. We don't like your character. We don't like what you do when you leave this practice facility or this stadium. We don't want that attached to the Dallas Cowboys. That's not what they're saying. You remember Jerry Jones tried to make a coup on Roger Goodell before he suspended him. Do you remember that? He was trying to get him removed. He went public against the commissioner. So in fighting for Ezekiel Elliott not to get that 6-game suspension, which he eventually got.
Yep.
So it tells you all along. So you cannot use that as a reason why.
I don't disagree with any of it. It is amazing the power that Jerry Jones wields behind the scenes, but I guess, I just think that Jerry Jones, look, this isn't a guy that's about the long term. Like I said, he's 76 years old. They haven't been really a major factor in literally 20 years. I mean,
what have they won, Rob G? Is it two playoff?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, 2 playoff games since their last Super Bowl?
Yes.
I think it's 2. That's how bad it's been. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking. I know they've won 2 of the last NFC East titles, right? But they haven't had postseason success.
But look at the East too. It's to me, when I look at the Cowboys, the window is now. The window is the next couple years before Zeke does get too much tread on those tires. And I think it's one of those things, you are a baseball guy. It kind of reminds me of what happens in baseball, right? You pay Albert Pujols for previous production, hoping that the first 3, 4, 5 years of a 10-year contract, he lives up to that expectation. And that to me is Zeke, is that, yeah, you're going to have to sign him long term, but you hope that this year, next year, maybe 2, 3 years after that is where he gives you the value of the contract, and then after that, if it happens, it happens.
And we shortchanged them. They've had 4 playoff wins or games, 4 playoff wins in the last 24 years.
Okay.
And this is supposed to be America's team. That sounds more like South America's team.
Yeah.
Right? Going the other way. That's how bad it is. 24 years?
That's like
sorry.
Brady's average postseason performance, 4 wins or so, give or take.
Is that what it is?
3.5. Yeah,
Tom Brady could do that.
Tom Brady could do
no,
that.
No, Tom can't.
All right, so, Rob, we spent last segment talking a little bit about Dak versus Zeke. And, again, if you guys want to get in on the action, 1-877-996-6369. And I don't think we ever really hit on it. To you, if there is a debate, who is more important? If the Cowboys could only have one, is it Dak? Is it Zeke? Or are they like kind of two peas in a pod? You need both of them.
Yeah, they go together because you're looking for a quarterback. So I get that.
Yeah.
It would be one thing to say, oh, you just need a running back. No, you don't just need a running back. But those two in this situation go together, and they're young guys who came up, right, together.
Yeah.
And here you have a perfect pairing. So why would you not invest? And I'm not breaking the bank for Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, but I'm going to pay him. You got to pay him, and you got to pay Ezekiel Elliot. But I think Ezekiel Elliot is what makes Dak a better player, not the other way around.
I agree with that. Let me ask you, because earlier in the show, we had kind of this Brady versus Rodgers thing, and you criticized my guy Tom Brady. You said, these guys shouldn't take less money. They got to do what's best for them. Well, Dak has been very vocal that he plans on maximizing this contract.
I'm not telling him what he should do, and I agree with that.
You just said don't break the bank for him, though.
I said, but as the ownership, I wouldn't pay that guy all the way top dollar when you just saw they have him as a third-tier quarterback, and you're going to pay him $30 million? I'm sorry, not for a third tier. Everybody knows that Dak Prescott needs all those other things in place and can't win a game for you by himself. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm Dak, I'm asking for the moon. Now, whether they give it to me or not is something different. I'm saying players should never take a discount. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't understand it. I think Tom Brady's dumb for doing it. I do. And I don't care what his wife makes. You should get what you're worth, what the market bears for talent like you, and for all the discounts Tom Brady has given, he hadn't gotten the players in return that supposedly he's saving money for the Patriots. They take that money and put it in their back pockets.
They put it in the Super Bowl rings. They get bigger and better every year. If you guys want to get
what about the years that they don't win the Super Bowl? What do they do with that money?
They get AFC Championship rings. Come on, Rob. All right, 1-877-996-6369. Call if you want to weigh in. Dak versus Zeke. First caller we have, Patrick in North Carolina. What do you got for us, Patrick?
Hey, guys, what's going on tonight? Hope y'all are doing real well this evening.
Thank you, bud.
Listen, I just want to chime in. I am not a Cowboys fan. I've not ever liked the Cowboys ever since I was a kid. I've just not ever cared for them. I'm a Panthers fan, and before we got the Panthers, I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But getting back to Dak and Ezekiel Elliott, my personal opinion, I think they need to pay Ezekiel Elliott because Dak Prescott is not that good of a quarterback unless he has a strong running game. We've seen it in the past, and we've seen it. That's just the way he is. He's not that quarterback that can carry you if you don't have a running game like Aaron Rodgers or somebody else is. He has got to have a sufficient running game for him to produce. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you for the call, Patrick. And he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's unfair. No one's saying that he's a bum and he can't play. But I think you read that piece in The Athletic.
So for people who weren't with us, we have two comments on Dak. The first one, he's a classic Tier 3 quarterback where he really needs people around him. When they get the receiver, he was better. When they got the running game rolling, he was better. Play action is very important for him. Another guy said, I just think when it comes down to it, Dak's accuracy is going to limit him because those 3 or 4 throws a game that you miss, they do come back to get you in the long run. And I think that's pretty, reflective of what we see every Sunday when we watch the Cowboys is they're a good team, but I think, look, they need all the pieces around Dak to be perfect. And I think that these guys are reflective of what we see on the weekend. So
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369.
Charlie in Mississippi is up to weigh in on Dak versus Zeke. What do you got, Charlie?
Hey, guys. I just watching football. I mean, the most important stat that I think people overlook sometimes with the quarterback is just wins and losses. And you see when Tony Romo goes down, the Cowboys don't win any football games. And then all of a sudden Dak Prescott comes in, the Dallas Cowboys start winning football games again. And I don't think you really see that across the league with when running backs go down. Like the Kansas City Chiefs, Kareem Hunt goes down, they have somebody step up. and they keep winning football games.
Yeah, but if they had Kareem Hunt, I guarantee you they would have gone to the Super Bowl. I mean, they would have gone to the Super Bowl and not lost in the AFC Championship. And I'll tell you this, Pittsburgh didn't make the playoffs last year, and everybody wanted to make it like Le'Veon Bell didn't matter, and they had James Conner came off the bench, but they didn't make the playoffs. A running back is important.
Antonio Brown also quit with the
That was game 16. Don't give me that. They were already eliminated even before that game. So I'm not buying that. You say he quit. Yes, he didn't play game 16, but they were eliminated before they even played the game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think like technically there was like if 4 teams lost and they got a tie, they would have
right. That's what I mean. They were already kind of out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the running back position, while devalued, is still so important for this particular Cowboys group. We got another call. Dylan in Kentucky. What do you got?
Yes, I just want to say that I don't think they should pay Dak Prescott the same money, the top-tier money. He's a great quarterback, a great young talent, but having Ezekiel Elliot and being able to rely on that play action is responsible for a lot of success in their offense. And, like I said, no disrespect, but Dak's not one of these guys like Brady, Rodgers, Luck, Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan that are going to just pick apart the defense with their arm. If it was me, I would be paying Zeke first, and then I would hope Dak would maybe realize his worth, take a little less, and hope to build a winning culture going forward with everybody else, not seek all the money himself.
Good call, Dylan. Appreciate it.
Seems like everybody kind of agrees with us. Look, Dak is a talented guy, a leader. He has a lot of the intangibles that you want from the quarterback position, but I do think Zeke is more important.
Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob, and we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, all